All right, everybody, welcome back. We are. No, I'm kidding. We're not live. I'm not brave enough to do that yet. So, welcome back this week. Cook, again, glad you could make it. Nobody was expecting you to be here, man. Do you want to give us updates or you want to keep that private?
So right now we're waiting for the epidural.
Ooh,
Hopefully, Emily will be able to get some sleep. The epidural will speed up the process, and everything can get rolling
heck yeah,
as they
man.
start.
Expecting to be a daddy tomorrow, then, man. Congratulations. That is
And
exciting
then,
news.
yeah, so we're maybe mid morning, maybe
Yeah.
if we're lucky.
Got to get some D20 onesies. Okay.
Oh yeah,
So last we left off, you guys were on your way. You left Tosin after a bar fight that your DM was not ready for, but we made it through. Uh Captain Blackthorn escaped barely. Um there was the attack by the goblins that you guys helped with, and the mayor has asked you guys to investigate uh this goblin nuisance, as over the past couple months the attacks have been ramping up. And as it's been going on, the goblins have been getting more and more tactical. They're fighting as if they're being trained militarily. Archers lining in lines. Their ambushes have gotten way better. And as you departed, and thanks to some unfortunate rolls at stealth, uh, you ended up fighting a hill giant and an owlbear, but easily took care of it. Um, And then we said that you guys went along and you've made camp. We posted what loot was there, and you guys have divided that up. So now you guys are at camp for the night, and uh, you're all sitting around the fire. Uh, Randall has hunted down some game for you guys to eat, and I just want to first, as this begins, give you guys an opportunity to talk to each other, maybe get to know each other's characters some more, kind of like around the campfire stuff here starting out, because we've been moving kind of fast paced along, and one of the wishes last week was for some more opportunities for some chances for the party to talk. So I just want to open up by giving the floor to you guys as you guys are sitting around the campfire here, winding down your night after your exciting battle.
All
So
right.
Timber sits down on kind of a stump right by the fire, and he reaches into his cloak pocket where the entire time it just looked like a bunch of random leaves were kind of stuck in there. He pulls them out of his pocket, and he starts flipping through them, and you can actually see that they're along the edges of the leaves. They're actually kind of stitched together, and they're all different types of leaves. But he just starts kind of looking through it like he's reading things. Um,
Winter would like to walk over to Timber and subtly cast Zone of Truth around them, which is a DC 14 Charisma saving throw.
So before that, the components for Zone of Truth, is it vocal and somatic?
Yes.
Okay, so I will need you to roll a sleight of hand check. And how are you approaching Timber? Like right in front of him as you're approaching casting this spell, or are you kind of coming around the campfire line?
kind of coming over, kind of like at an angle, like so that it'll appear kind of by his right shoulder, because if he's startled, he's more likely to just say things without
Okay.
like thinking them through. So it's more chance that I'll get the information I need instead of like him being able to be evasive in his answers, even if he
Since-
like passes the
Since
zone of
Timber
truth.
said that they were reading their spell book, and you're going to come at an angle, I'm not going to give you disadvantage on the sleight of hand check. So this will be a perception roll from
Okay.
Timber and a sleight of hand check from you.
I got 21 for sleight of hand.
Got a 19 for perception.
Okay, so you do not see the spell being cast nor hear it as the fire crackles in front of you as you're reading. So go ahead and it's DC 14 is the save.
Yep.
All right.
I believe that's a wisdom.
And what's my saving throw?
Charisma.
Oh, charisma.
Oh, fuck. All right. Oh, that I rolled a 10 for a 9.
All right. So Timber is now in a zone of truth.
Yeah, so you you are now, yeah. So you are now aware of the spell. Like you can feel that there is something going on with your thoughts and how you want to say things, but you can't deliberately lie. Like you can evade answers, but you can't straight out lie. So Winter's going to come up. She's going to cast this spell. She's going to pop up over your right shoulder and go, "So what do you know about mirrors?"
Okay, what'd you ask?
So you asked me about a mirror earlier and what I knew. So I'm wondering, what do you know about mirrors?
So just because I am a wizard, and I'm happy to make an Arcana check as you want. Is it safe to know that is it safe to assume I would know what this spell is?
You watched her do this to the goblins. Also, side note, I'm getting major Jim Carrey liar liar vibes. It's great.
It's like nice. So let me think.
Yeah, I would say as
So-
this comes over you and you know that you want to lie and suddenly can't, that you realize what has been done to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, so he you I am not from this part of and everything I'm saying is going to be true. I am not from this part of the country, and I'm not always familiar with the customs. However, where I come from, especially at the Norlo Wizarding School, it would be considered quite rude to throw a spell of this sort on somebody without their permission.
You didn't answer my question. Is there a reason you object to answering my question?
You are correct. I did not answer your question.
Is it possible to roll an insight? I just want to get a vibe. I don't want to get anything specific from Timber.
Yeah.
I
go ahead.
just want to know what kind of game he's playing.
Yeah, I can answer that one. The sense you get is that Timber, who is a trained wizard, just had somebody roll up and put a spell on him without his permission, and it's kind of pissing him off a little bit. But he is doing the best he can to maintain this, nerdy kind of aloofness despite that.
We can tell he's kind of getting peeved off.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
You
seem
could
odd to
definitely-
you
could
that
definitely
to
Yeah,
to
you could
cast
definitely
a
tell I'm not
spell on
comfortable with this.
somebody. It's kind of rude.
I'm gonna elbow Ildain and just be like, I think this is one of the ones that we need to sit out.
What's the
'Cause
radius of zone of truth?
I don't know either one of them.
15 foot.
I think
15 foot.
it's either a 20-foot cylinder or it's a 20-foot cube. But yeah, you can move out of it,
Uh,
Max. I didn't want to say
15
anything.
foot sphere.
Yeah, well, anybody who chooses to stay sitting around the fire would have to make the save. So technically, Winter just cast this on everybody, unless somebody's not sitting around the fire right now.
No, Mordella's
Yeah.
sitting there, so I'm just gonna choose to fail
As-
it. She's not even gonna resist it.
I think I wouldn't even know that a spell had been put on me. So I'd probably look at Cook and be like, I don't know, that little guy, he entertains me.
Timber stands up and once again, 100% telling the truth. Goes, ladies, if you'll please excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I find that the company is not quite what I had hoped at this moment. And he turns and walks 20 feet away from the fire and on a stump and starts reading his book over there. Which the leaves, all the different leaves, that is his spell book. So that's what he's doing.
Winter lets the spell go, turns to Mordella and goes, yeah, so you know something about a mirror, and it's probably a pretty special mirror if you won't say anything about it. So if you want more information, you've probably got the best chance of getting it, because he seems to like you more than the rest of us. So
He definitely
She,
doesn't like you now.
yeah, I was gonna say she just kind of watches the whole scene, looks at Winter the entire time she says this to her, and she just kind of absently like rubs her neck a little, and she's like, "Okay, I understand."
And Max, in your head, especially being a wizard, there are thousands of magical mirrors of legend and lore, and even just as trinkets. You have no idea what this mirror is exactly. You just know that your lady wants it, that it was supposed to be delivered. You're not sure which of the plethora of magic mirrors it is that she wants.
Yeah, that is all true. And, yeah, it's all true. Honestly, Timber would, he wants to keep the secret of why he's looking for this and who he's working for. But at the same time, he legitimately is upset that somebody just rolled up and tried to put a spell on him out of nowhere. That would be considered a pretty jerk move back in the wizarding school. Especially, also, it's a spell that in the write-up says that the person is cast upon knows it got cast on you. So he's also like a little disgusted at the clumsiness of the attempt.
I am not happy. Just because, like, as a cleric, I know that was a zone of truth. I wouldn't say not happy. I'm not excited about traveling with people who are willing to just throw spells at each other. I get it, but Vrack's looking kind of grumpy.
Yeah, we're getting to know each other. That's for sure.
It could perhaps seem that maybe it's because it's in her favor, but Mordella doesn't seem to mind this at all. But in her culture, this is common practice. Shit like this.
Yeah, and also
They put spells on each other and other people all the time, like it ain't nothing.
Nobody's really asked Winter where she's from yet, but she grew up in the jungles. And they're not primitive, the Dragonborn, but they're very tribal, proud, sure of themselves people. They know that they descended from dragons, and to them there's like this air of I don't want to say superiority because that just makes her racist, but it's not quite that, but you know what I mean. They're very proud people.
I also think Winter, just the way she was raised, doesn't have a lot of trust for people at all. Like, she'll protect you, but she doesn't trust that you'll continue to be nice to her. Like, niceness is like, she grew up in the jungle. It's very much niceness is, it can be seen as a weakness or a trick. So for her, making sure that someone is telling the truth or making sure they're not out to harm her, that is like an automatic like reaction because you want to trust who sleeps next to you that they won't stab you in while you're sleeping. And she walked up a hill where there were 3 goblins that went to sleep, and all of a sudden only 2 of them were sleeping and another one was dead. So it's not like she trusts Timber's morals right now either.
On that note, which is good, also Timber, in Winter's defense, you are Fae and you are a fairy, which are normally deceitful, tricksy little jerks who play tricks on people, steal things, lie constantly. You can never trust anything a
Yes.
fairy tells you.
And I'll answer in Timber, even though I know you're talking to me. Like, well, yes, there are many preconceptions about certain races throughout the realms, and it's always dangerous to generalize certain characteristics onto specific people because it turns out that all creatures are unique in their own way, and yes, I will admit that there are perhaps a higher percentage of Fae that are untrustworthy. However, that does not mean that applies to all because, and beliefs like that are what prevents communities from coming together and really accepting our differences and celebrating our differences.
I'm gonna kind of look back to Vraak and be like, "What the fuck is going on? It was entertaining, and now it is not. What did I miss?"
I'm gonna just that kind of tugged on my heartstrings a bit as a half orc. So I'm just going to, if anybody looked at my face, could tell that I'm blushing with shame, not anything else. It's straight up shame after hearing those words from another person that could be presumed to be an outcast in some societies.
What did I miss?
Well, I managed
No.
to
He's
call my
got a point.
daughter both. I managed to call my daughter both clumsy and racist. That's kind of what happened. So.
No, I just imagine my poor character sitting around the fire, and then Winter comes in, and so I probably wasn't paying attention until like you answered that way. So all I think would assume is that she kind of popped up a question, and you sidestepped the question. And then her character asked something else, and then you got up and left. And then from wherever off in the woods that you are, basically just said, Winter was, unfair. And then you're looking ashamed. So I'm like, what did I miss?
I think we can all understand a little bit where you're coming from about being treated unfairly. So from now on, we try to avoid doing stuff like that to one another. And she'll just kind of like look at Winter and just kind of give her a nod, you know. Didn't do anything wrong, but now we all know how everybody feels. I suppose.
I apologize for taking away your autonomy. I now realize that is not a part of your culture and is not received well. I will no longer do that. I am sorry it came across as rude and clumsy and racist from my end.
Timber gets up and he walks back to the fire. He's like, "Hey, no. I would be quite the hypocrite if I were to complain about not being accepted into other cultures and then not accept the differences that you possess as well. Therefore, if that is the norm where you come from, then I accept that. But please, in the future, I am willing to just talk to people if they have questions and answer them. But I do not. That is something that I would not appreciate anymore in the future."
Of course, I will direct all manipulative spells away from your direction from now on.
D&D, destroying prejudice one game at a time.
Picking at the food that Thrandil had caught for us, and I don't know, somebody prepared. Mordella is just kind of, like I said, absent-mindedly kind of rubbing at the bruise and stuff from the collar that was on her neck. And she's like, I think we'll see Blackthorn again. She looks a little bit worried as she says that. She said, maybe not soon, but I didn't realize the whole time he was talking about Thrandil that he wasn't actually his friend. And that lets me know that Blackthorn is pretty determined. So I do thank you all for your help in that situation, but I do fear that maybe I've put you into a bad situation yourself with Blackthorn. And for that I must apologize.
If you're not in a bad situation every once in a while, are you even truly living?
People of my ilk find ourselves in bad situations the more civilization we get around. That's why we tend to stay off in the pines by ourselves. One or two people isn't too bad, but a group of them, and next thing you know, we're evil, we're the enemy, and we have to go.
Timber kind of leans forward across the fire. He's like, my dear Mordella, my lady, what you mentioned your ilk, and if this is, please, I do not want to be rude and pry, but how would you describe your ilk? Where are you from?
From the Everneedle Pines, and we are what commoners call witches.
A witch. That is fascinating. So your magics, where where do your magics come from? Where, like, what is their source?
Do you want to know? Truly?
I am a student of magic. This is what I am. I'm a bit of an academic on the subject. Actually, I would love to know.
She kind of looks at each and every one of you around the fire, but stays looking at Vraak and says, it's from the souls of the once living that still inhabit this realm. I use them.
Well, that is. Timber stands up and he does a deep bow. And as he does, he casts druid craft, so a little flower grows in his palm, and he holds it up to Mordella. He goes, "Well, my lady, if I were ever to fall, it would be an absolute honor, be the soul that bestowed you with magic."
She's actually taken aback a little by that and says, "Oh, I thank you for that, Timber. Most people don't have that type of reaction."
Like I said, I'm a bit of an academic and a bit of a romantic, I must say. And it just seems that you have to accept all types of magic, and this is different, and I do not understand it, but I am fascinated with it nonetheless.
I'm gonna nudge Vraak and be like, "Look, see, it got entertaining again. The little fairy guy's flirting."
One second, yeah.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, no, you guys are good. It's just the nurse stepped in the room to start the epidural. They're getting everything situated. But in the meantime, Vrack's just going to look at Ildain and kind of just walk away from the campfire. I think he's
Anybody,
probably a little bit jealous of the acceptance that everybody else is getting, if I'm being honest.
anybody
Sorry, everybody. I will
who,
be right back.
yeah, anybody who wants to say that they have this knowledge, witches are generally looked down on because it's not quite known by the outside world for the most part that they draw on the spirits of the recently departed, but it's looked at as like a brute force type of magic. They don't tap into the weave like most spellcasters do to cast their magic. It's kind of like performing surgery with a chainsaw. It's a good analogy, I would find, is how it's looked at. It's also known that witches, because of the way they perform their magic by this brute force, that they can become corrupt over time and eventually transform into hags that inhabit Crag's Swamp.
We're going to get it. Okay, thank you.
So, not a lot is known academically, so the question would have been valid from you, Timber. But that's the basic knowledge, because once the hag thing was found out by people, they had no interest in studying witches anymore. They just wanted to avoid the subject, so academically not a lot's known other than it's a very archaic and brutish style of magic. But they don't all turn to hags. Some of them use their powers for good. Many healers, herbalists, nice little old ladies living on the outskirts of town with a very big greenhouse could be a witch. They stick to
I'm back.
covens. They're usually isolated away. But from time to time, witches are known to go into towns. They're very matriarchal. No male witches are known of in the world. Covens are mostly women. That's what would be known academically about witches.
As somebody who's not much of an academic, how much, because I know you said it's for us to choose the knowledge, but how often would a witch have come into
You've
Ildain and
probably,
I's home?
yeah, you guys have probably never actually met a witch. This is probably the first witch
That might be an
that you would know
interesting
of.
way to
Yeah,
look at it too.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. How you were saying from an academic standpoint, how about from a religious standpoint? How is this looked at?
Yeah, that's
Good question.
mostly where the persecution comes from.
Oh, that's
think
perfect. So yeah,
Salem,
so
they witchcraft, because it is the exact opposite of divine in the view of clerics and clergy.
So
It's
there
brutish.
you go.
It circumvents Nyx, the goddess of magic, and the gift of the Godstone that she gave mortals the ability to use magic. Witches have found a way to access magic without using the divine blessing of the Godstone. So, yeah, the religious do not view it very kindly.
So based upon all of that, Timber would be extremely curious and extremely accepting of it. Religion does not have a big bearing on him, and he, as a Book of Scribes wizard, he would absolutely just be fascinated with the, or not the moral, the academic aspect of it, and just learning about it.
Noted. Definitely noted. I definitely need to, if nobody else has got anything going on, I need to release this spirit before we go to bed, Frankie. I need to get rid of this thing.
Yeah. I was wondering if you were gonna. Got it written here.
Oh yeah, I definitely need to. So I'm going to tell everybody that I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to sneak off and yeah, just try to release this spirit from me.
And that's another ritual?
I think I can just do it, but let me look it up and double check.
I can't remember if there's any effect.
I just need to look up the binding. I know I can release it as part of like attacks and stuff like that to
Mhm.
do extra effects, but I'm not really looking to do that per se. I'm just looking to get rid of it. The spirit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it just says about how many I have. Okay, here we go. Releasing a spirit is a bonus action. So yeah,
Okay.
just gonna go off into the trees, into the woods, and release this spirit from me. And I'm also going to cast protection from evil and good on myself,
How long does the spell
and then
last again?
return to the fire. It probably only lasts an hour, but I just don't want the spirit to immediately come back and try to possess me.
Right.
The thought process
By the
there.
way,
It might not
Frankie,
protect
that
me
is
all night, but you know.
Frankie, that is now the standard sound anytime a spirit is released. Just so we're
Well,
on
it
the
was
same
one of
page.
agony, so I had to go with the theme.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys may or may not have heard a ghostly wail off in the woods. I don't know. But Mordella comes back and starts preparing herself to rest. Just starts kind of looking for a spot to put out her bedroll, and you know what I mean. Like she's not in it yet, but she's just. You could tell she's obviously getting ready to tuck in.
Yeah, and as you guys are preparing to lay down, Winter, you lay back beside the fire on your bedroll, and you gaze up at the night sky as you've done many times in your travels. You don't quite get as good a view of the sky in the jungle, so it has fascinated you, and you swear you see a shooting star that's almost a comet before it fades into the distance.
As Winter sees this, she takes a glance around to see if anyone noticed anything about it, and seeing that no one else has really been looking up, hasn't cared to know the meaning and stuff behind it. She just smiles kind of softly to herself, and chuckles before she kind of closes her eyes and gets ready to go to sleep.
So Thrandil is a wood elf and has his trance, so he offers to take watch, at least for the first part of night, and Sir Dennigan will offer to do the second. Reluctantly, But after some pressure that you guys put on him, because he didn't actually help you with the goblins, but he got some of the credit and the gold.
Yeah, and I think we all realize that it's gonna be his like little mechanic thing actually having watch, so I think we're
Yeah.
actually more comfortable with that happening than him watching.
100% agree with that statement, and it is 100% correct.
Yeah. And about 2 hours into everybody's rest, I need wisdom saving throws.
Ildain got a 19.
Freaking believable. I got a 6.
Winter got a 18.
I am trying to do my roll now. Give me a second.
Just say the word and I'll roll a die for you.
If you don't mind. It's not letting me do saving throws.
18 on the die.
23.
16 for Timber.
Okay. Let me write this down. All right. Nobody notices anything. You guys aren't awakened in the middle of the night. Everybody sleeps. Nothing happens to your 2 watchers. As far as you guys know, you weren't woken up in the middle of the night. When the morning does come, and you guys feel the sun glow upon your face and you wake up, the fire is out and smoldering. Thrandil and Sir Dennigan are nowhere to be found.
We do a perception check to see if
Yeah, absolutely.
it sounds like they're off in the. Okay.
Yep.
Survival. I want to start looking around on the ground to see if I can see where they were last standing or seated.
I rolled an 18. So I'd probably be
18
looking
perception?
for foot tracks. Yeah.
Okay, and you said you're rolling survival?
Oh, I was
Mordella?
asking if I could. I wasn't sure if
Yeah,
that was an
absolutely.
option. All right. Roll it up.
Anybody
Oh,
who
shit.
wants
Well,
to roll something can roll it.
it is a 24 total.
24. All right, I will do the perception first. Ildain, you're looking around, and Thrandil's bow and pack and bedroll are right where he left it. You can't hear anything, and you're pretty certain that if Sir Dennigan was anywhere around, you would definitely be hearing about it. No sign of him. There's no tracks on the ground. With a 24 survival check, Mordella, you're looking around and something seems off about camp. The fire ring seems like it's smaller than it was last night. The trees kind of around where you guys decided to put up camp, they don't seem to be quite in the same position. It's almost as if at night everything looked bigger. You look up at the sky and it's gray and hazy, and the weather looks like it might be about to take a turn. And just something about camp feels off, and your friends are nowhere to be found.
I'm going to look over to Timber and I'm going to say, hey, is there any way you can feel into the magic of this place? She's asking you to asking you to cast detect magic, basically.
Yeah, and you jumped in right before I was going to say that exact same thing. I cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, everything around you is illuminated.
This is
It's almost like you can't see it with your naked eye, but when you do the incantation and your eyes kind of start to glow, it's almost like you're in a fog of magic.
this is
It's
this is
thick.
this is quite strange. There is magic everywhere. I have not seen magic this thick and this present in everything since back in the Fey realm, back in the fairylands. We see this every once in a while, but never to this extent.
And it's at this moment
And
that you
I
guys hear in the distance Sir Dennigan's high-pitched, very effeminate scream. And it sounds like it's coming from about 300 feet away through the trees. And it just stops abruptly.
Is it in the same direction of Thrandil's belongings?
It's in the direction towards the swamp that you guys were heading.
So I'm probably gonna gear up and look at Vraak and kind of get the okay to start moving that way. Like obviously somebody's screaming. I think they stepped away for a second, I think.
Yeah, they muted, so. Yeah, as you guys quickly begin to gather up your stuff, and I'm gonna assume that you gather up Sir Dennigan and Thrandil's stuff as well, and
Oh, yeah.
shove it into Vraak's bag of holding. And you begin to make your way in the direction of the screams. You guys are in a nice. It's kind of semi-wooded, but then there's big open clearings. It's really a hilly grassland kind of situation, but it feels like all of you are the ground feels like you're walking through sand. It's very wet as you walk forward. This oppressive feeling of this magical fog that surrounds you guys has everything just feeling off as you make your way forward in the direction of the screen. What is our party order as we march forward?
I'll probably be first.
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume Vraak will be right there with you.
Yep.
Winter's following behind the two of them,
Okay.
but she's also making
Mordella's
call. Yeah.
sorry, Mordella's fast to Winter's side, so she'll be right after Winter. And Frankie, that message I sent you, I'm also gonna enter the quickening for my character. Just so you know what this does. But yeah, you guys all see Mordella's eyes suddenly go like stark white, and her head is kind of like bobbing back and forth a little bit. She seems to be mumbling to herself, and she just doesn't look right. Something looks like it's very off with her. But game mechanics, what's happening is she's able to see into the ethereal plane now, and a few other side
Okay,
benefits
I
from it
like
as
that.
well.
Go ahead and make me a wisdom check with advantage.
Man, I am rolling like ass. But I got a what was that 12 total with
12?
advantage. Yes, sir. My second roll
Okay.
was a 1.
You want to hop up in the Whispers channel with me?
All right. Okay.
All right, boss man. You aren't quite sure, but you almost feel as if you're in a dream. Everything kind of feels off.
Okay.
You're not sure
Okay.
that what's around you is real. That is what I can give you with a 12.
Okay, no
And we
problem.
will hop back down. All right, we are
All right,
back.
guys. Well, bad news. Mordella died. So see you guys next week. I got a whole new character.
Okay.
I was gonna roll a stealth check without you here, and then just sneak into the other room.
No, that's funny. That is funny.
The only question is I would be so I'm leading, I'm taking point, so I would probably have heard Timber mention the magic. So I'm gonna be like, is the squishy feeling or whatever, is that what you perceive? And then I'm probably gonna look over towards Mordella and see what's going on and be like, and is that normal? Like, should we be concerned? Is she doing that on purpose? Or do I need to start fighting around her?
So, as you guys are making your way forward and you're having this conversation, if you look at table specific maps, you come into this clearing with these hills and you see a quaint little cottage with what looks like a little greenhouse attached. There's a well outside. Near that well, you guys see 4 dolls lying, and you can hear the laughter of children coming from behind the cottage.
As
How
we
far away
walk,
from the swamp were we when we set up camp?
Oh, you were still 2 days. But Thrandil would have explained that as you get closer, things can get wonky.
as we kind of see this, Winter makes a comment along the lines of, so if children are involved, would it be unfair to assume that Sir Dennigan probably pissed them off and deserved whatever he got?
If it's kids, they're probably fascinated with the little mechanical thing. So they may have tied him up.
Probably not fascinated with the whiny older gentleman. Or I actually don't know his age, so I'll just say probably not fascinated with the whiny gentleman.
You guys have gotten trust fund kid vibes from Sir Dennigan. He's probably mid to late 20s, but has the maturity of a 15-year-old who's never had no said to him very often.
Do we how far away did you say we were from the creepy dolls?
Yeah, if you go into table specific maps just above the voice channel, you guys are coming in from the bottom of this map. So you're 75, 80 feet abouts from.
So with that extra sensory perception, I'm not seeing anything on the ethereal plane.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep, there is nothing on the ethereal plane here.
All right, Timber turns to the group. He's like, well, I will admit that I am definitely not a ranger. However, I might have the ability to do a little bit of quick, undetectable scouting, just to see what is around here.
Does anybody speak Sylvan?
Yes.
I don't believe I do.
Timber, from behind, you hear the little girls start to sing what is the equivalent of Ring Around the Rosie. And they're laughing and giggling. And they come running around the house. And you see these 4 little blonde girls in summer dresses. Looks like they're playing tag as they're singing and laughing. And they stop and they see you. And they whisper to each other. And then they giggle again and they run towards the house.
Out of game, I don't want to have to murder these children tonight, but man, I'm like this close. They're acting too much like standard schoolgirls, and this is just no. Creep vibes are to another level. But yeah, back in game, Mordella doesn't quite know what to make of this, but she is a little bit worried to see a hut with a greenhouse attached and a well, and you know, being 2 days away from the swamp, she's like, I don't know, maybe somehow we wandered closer to the swamp. She even kind of like mumbles that out loud, because that's what she's kind of thinking and worried about.
Timber turns to him. He's like, the kids were definitely giving off a creepy vibe. I will say that the words they were saying were not threatening. It was just a simple children's song. However, they were speaking in Sylvan, which is the language of the Fae. So I think it is possible that we have somehow made it into the Fae realm, and as Winter so eloquently put it last night, sometimes it is best not to trust creatures of the Fae realm.
And the girls have run inside, and a moment or two passes, and stepping out from the door with this, I'd say she's in her 50s, this little old lady. She's wearing an apron. She has her hair up in a bun. A cute pair of spectacles at the end of her nose, and she's smiling widely, and Thrandil and Dennigan are with her. And they wave to you guys. Waving you guys closer.
I do like a insight check
Yes, you
because
may.
I'm definitely getting like that Timber and Mordella are at like they're not at ease. Very kind of not riled up, but they're very on edge. So that's making me on edge. So I don't trust what's going on.
Ildain got 19 on her wisdom check. Yeah, go ahead, make an insight.
Not 20. Of course, this is where I would roll one. And insight. Oh, that's 21. Ooh.
You don't know a whole lot about Thrandil and Dennigan. You haven't really gotten to know them very much at this point. But their smiles just seem just a bit too wide. And their eyes just seem a bit too glassy.
Timber casts message to Thrandil. Just goes, "Are you okay?"
You get nothing back. It's almost like a low hum.
Okay, so I take this information. I throw the rest of it. Something is not right. They are not responsive. Something is not right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Mordella is gonna
Cool.
take out like her small spell focused dagger and like just hold her hand up in front of her face and like not even lightly, she's gonna stab the bejesus out of her fucking palm. Do damage to her, Frankie?
Roll an attack against yourself. You choose to
Can
just
I
take
guarantee a hit since
Yeah,
it's myself?
yeah.
Can I guarantee a
it. Yeah,
hit?
go ahead.
I want to guarantee a hit.
What damage does your...
It's a dagger. It does a d4 plus my dexterity bonus or whatever.
Roll damage on yourself.
Fucking world max, bro. Pretty sure I take 8. I gotta double check on my character sheet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I take
you,
8 piercing damage.
You feel the dagger strike your palm.
Subtract
You
those
see
hit
blood
points.
run down your palm.
Oh yeah.
But as
Mordella like yanks the dagger out and is just looking at her palm like shocked and looking at everybody else shocked that this happened.
as you pull it out, the entire world kind of wavers and then re-solidifies. And all of you have watched Mordella do this, and when you turn back, the little old lady is right in front of you with Thrandil and Dennigan, and they're still smiling just as wide. She says, "Oh, dearies. Oh, we don't get many visitors out this way. Ah, have you eaten breakfast? Come in, come in, come in." And
Is she speaking
turns-
common or Sylvan?
She's speaking common.
How far away were we?
You were about 65, 70 feet. And in the moment it took Mordella to stab her hand, and then you look back up, she was there.
Yeah, so I'm massively unnerved because with my little dwarf legs, that would be like a couple turns for me to reach that distance. So the fact that this old lady and I think Thrandil could probably do that distance. Sir Dennigan probably not. Not quietly.
Oh, Sir, yeah, he'd be so winded.
Oh, he'd be whiny. So there's no way I'm going to breakfast. I'll
Well,
be like,
come on
no,
now,
thank
don't
you,
be
ma'am.
rude.
Timber starts talking to her in Sylvan.
I insist. We must have you for breakfast.
I am. I just about gave a Fae my name. That was a really bad move.
Mordella? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, and I'm speaking in Sylvan just to kind of build a connection. Like, hey, I kind of think I know what's going on here. I think we are good. We are just going to take our friends here and we'll get out of your hair. We saw you had busy children. I'm sure you need to get back to them. We'll get out of your hair. Nice and easy.
Plus, I think she just said she's going to eat us, so I'm really not down with that.
Sir Dennigan puts his hand on your shoulder, Timber, and he squeezes and I can't do the annoying voice. I wish I could. Oh, come on, buddy. She's making eggs, ham, and fairy, and he starts to dig his nails into your shoulder. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Ildain got an 18.
Anybody get higher than an 18?
No.
All right, 17 through 14.
I got a 17.
Okay. 14
13.
through 13. Okay. Mordella.
Mordella grabbed an 11.
Timber also got an 11.
Okay. How do you guys want to do that?
Timber, I'm casting a healing spell. It's up to you.
Well, then how about I go first, just in case I need the healing spell afterwards?
All I know is we didn't finish our long rest, and now I just done did it to myself, so it's about that time.
Dane, Winter, Timber, Mordella, we will reserve Vraak's what they have going on
He
right
actually
now.
put over. He put over a message. He got 13.
Oh, okay. So he will go after Winter. Now I have. And at the start of this combat, I am going to go ahead and allow all of you to make wisdom saving throws.
It's my proficient save too. 7. Better than the 6 I got last time. I will call that.
Ildain got a 9. And Cook got a 14.
Winter got a nat 20. Because she got
Winter.
bad vibes.
Guide us, Winter.
Winter, the illusion drops for you. Anybody who got above a 13 or above, the illusion drops. And before you, the little old lady transforms, and I'm going to post this into. I don't really have a channel for this right now, so I'm just going to put it in table specific maps for you guys to see the lovely night hag and your 2 friends and the little daughters transform into red caps.
Oh god, I hate those when I played in Baldur's Gate. Those guys suck.
So you guys have the night hag, unfortunately rolled better than all of you. Then it's Ildain, then 2 red caps, and then after Mordella, 2 more red caps will go. All right. So, Mordella, you still see a little old lady. Everybody else sees this hideous hag standing here before you. And she is going to start off with a sleep spell. $5d8. All right. Do any of you individually have a hit point total less than 34?
Yes.
Also, yes.
Also, yes.
Also, yes.
Okay, so I am going to roll a d6.
It's according to the spell, it's supposed to go in order from the lowest hit point total up to the highest.
Okay, I
But I'm
didn't want
not going to tell you how to run your game,
Yep.
but just to say it out loud.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have a spell description on the monster sheet here.
So to
that
just say it
helps.
out loud, especially because I just reduced mine. Mordella's got 13 hit points, so she might be one of the first ones to hit the floor.
Yeah.
I'm at 25.
But that at least
Sure
soaks
has
up 13 hit points from
27.
others.
So 34 minus 13 gives us 1. 21 left. Is anybody 21 or below?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
All right, so just Mordella.
Mordella hits the
Falls
floor like
over
a sack
asleep.
of potatoes.
Okay, that's 1 spell class. Okay, so she can either get her multi-attack or cast a spell, and she casts a spell. So, Ildain, you are up.
So I still see this like old lady
Yep, who just
and
said some words in a language you don't understand, and you watch Mordella fall asleep.
drop. Yeah. So I don't know that she's a night hag, and I'm not gonna go for, I guess, my so-called friends. So I'm going to gonna bonus action, and then or not bonus action, but yeah, bonus action manifest my echo to the other side of her. And
Okay.
but I'm going to attack her with my longsword. It's 11. 7 is 18 to hit.
I do believe 18 hits. Let me look.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
And a 7 plus 7, 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of watch
remind
and
me
see
again,
what that
is,
does.
Is your sword magical?
Thought so, but I can't remember why.
Did I make it a +1? Or did I make your armor a +1?
The armor is +1.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I can't remember if you said your longsword. If your longsword's a +1, it's a magical sword.
Yeah, it is a +1.
Okay.
So yeah.
That matters.
So if I wait to see like if it does damage or change anything, and then if it does,
It definitely does
I'm going
some
to
damage. Not significant, but
okay.
it does slice her.
Okay. So I'm going to unleash incarnation, which allows me to also take an attack from my echo. So same thing, longsword. And that's a nat 20.
Ooh, roll that crit.
Okay, so that's a d8. So it's 8 plus 4, which is 12. And then do I add my attack modifier twice?
Yes.
Okay. So another 18, so 30
Wow.
damage. And that's it for my turn.
All right, Winter, you are up.
Winter?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is Thrandil, for those of you who still see Thrandil. And it is a red cap for those who see red cap, who is going to make an attack on Ildain, who is attacking that. So this is a +6. So 19.
Does not hit.
Okay, it's going to attack again. 20.
That is with my shield raised. That is a meet. Or no, wait, I'm 21. It does not hit.
Okay, so it misses. Now the other one, which is Dennigan, who dug his nails into Timber, is going to make an attack on Timber. That is a 14 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 3, 7 plus 4, so 11 slashing damage on the first attack. Attacks again. It is definitely a hit. 13 plus 6 is 19. And 8 on the second attack. And now it is Winter's turn.
Winter, to put it eloquently, is pissed. Her favorite person just hit the ground, slumped over, and she now sees this hag, and she is upset. So she is going to vicious mockery. She's gonna unleash a string of insults. She is going to focus on this hag that to everyone else looks like this sweet old lady and go, I'm pretty sure if you were to put your head in a door and have it slammed several thousand times against your head, you'd end up looking prettier than when you started. It's just pissed. So that is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is a 5. That is a fail.
Yay. She takes 10 psychic damage, and then Winter's gonna turn around and do Healing Word as a bonus action on Mordella. So that's one.
Is Vicious Mockery a cantrip?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So that's going to be... I do want to point out that you notice that attack, the insult, did not do quite as much damage as you thought it should have. You felt it hit, but you kind of noticed that the hag was able to kind of shake off the psychic damage.
Dang. Well, I Healing Word as a bonus action and give Mordella 10 hit points back. So that way,
Ooh, that's so awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, from her deciding to just randomly stab herself out of nowhere. Which
There's a
Winter
thought process behind it, but yes, we can talk about
Winter
it
was
later.
very confused about. Yeah, that's Winter's turn.
All right. Vraak is up.
All right. He's up. And I've been spending this entire time trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go with. Please let this work. I'm going to cast Blindness on the hag.
Okay.
It is a Constitution saving throw. Spell save DC is only 13.
Okay, the hag gets a +3 to this.
Of course she does.
And I rolled a natural 19.
You said she passed?
Yeah, she passed.
And no bonus action cantrips. Whoa, that's my turn.
All right.
It's cemented
Timber,
what I'm doing next turn.
you are up.
Okay.
Did Timber pass check? The wisdom check?
Yeah. Oh, the C passed it, everything? Yeah, I passed that. So I see this red cap right in front of me. I am just gonna Chromatic Orb right in its face.
Roll her up.
That is a 17 to hit.
That definitely hits a red cap.
Okay. D8. All right, so that is 12, 16. Let's go. See, I got a choice here. 16. Let's go with lightning damage.
Okay. Check resistances. I don't think they have any. Nope. How much was it?
16.
Okay. All right. Any bonus actions?
Nope, I have no bonus actions. But I am just gonna kind of let everybody know. Timber looks pretty fucked up right now. So everybody's tracking.
Would a healing spell wake Mordella up? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so.
Taking damage.
I just Yeah.
Taking damage or being roused, and I'm looking to see some spells. It's like at the end of the turn they can try. Some spells are like nope.
Yep. And it specifically says you have to use an action to shake or
Yeah,
slap
this
the
one it
sleeper
says
away.
until they
So,
take damage, until the spell ends, or until somebody uses an action to wake them. So Mordella is just sleeping and completely oblivious to the situation at hand.
All right. Then
Of course, guys, I took Cure Wounds and not Healing Word.
we will move on
It's okay, they're
to-
both useful.
So the 4 daughters have turned into 2 red caps. So 2 of them were an illusion. And we have 2 more, but they are 60 feet away. I don't, well, what they have for range? No. So they will spend their move and their dash to move 50 feet closer to the fight, but they are still 10 feet back. And we are back up at the top of the round with the Night Hag, who is going to make a melee weapon attack with her claws against Vraak. Your religious
That's fair.
garb offends her, so she is going to attack you. This is +7, and that is a crit.
Hmm.
1 1,000,
I'm
2
about to take some
1,000,
damage,
3
though.
1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000 without a silvery barb. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d8 plus. Oh yeah, you're asleep.
I was gonna say, if you're waiting for me, I'm sleeping.
That is.
Wish I could.
So that's 20 before the roll. So 29 slashing damage to Vraak.
Oof, I'm down.
As Vraak falls, lays there. The hag laughs maniacally, and it is now Ildain's turn.
How close is Mordella to me?
You guys were just standing right there. She's within 10 feet.
But if I go back to her, I'll probably do an opportunity attack.
Yeah, you engaged. Well, you have a reach weapon, don't you? You could have said that you were 10 feet back. A longsword's a reach
Oh,
weapon.
it's a longsword.
I don't
Oh
think
yeah, but
it's
I'm a
reach.
dwarf, so I don't know if
Yeah.
it'll really work.
It's
My
still a
reach is
reach
probably
weapon.
not real
I'm
reach.
not going to take reach
Okay.
away from you.
Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I don't know if I can actually do that. I was thinking about having my echo to like wake her up. I think
Okay.
I don't think I could do anything other than attack. Sorry, reading up.
spell does specifically say slap them awake, and a slap is nothing but an unarmed strike. So,
Or roused, which means shaken.
Okay, then I'm going to.
Yeah, but Max shows violence
Uh,
today.
Yeah, Max just wants you to slap the sleepy
it-
witch.
It'll be like that, like tap tap kind of slap. It'll be an attack with disadvantage kind of thing. So I'm gonna send my echo back. Use that action to kind of rouse Mordella. And I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use one of my unleash incarnation thing. Since it's kind of an attack from the echo, that way it's kind of, I guess, fair for using that as an action as well.
You can choose to attack from your Echo's position at any time you have a free attack. It's just that your Unleash Incarnation can only come from your Echo.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing is I was sending the echo back so I wouldn't take an opportunity attack.
That's what I mean. So, like, you can
from
attack
moving.
from your Echo's position. So if you want your Echo to slap me using your action, you don't have to use the Incarnation thing.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, just in case you need to save resources, because hags aren't easy to beat.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
We're in
And
a bit
then
of a
I'll
pickle,
just-
y'all.
Yeah, so then whatever my reaction would be like to
Excuse me.
dodge.
Okay. So you are rousing Mordella. Mordella, you are roused. It'll take half your movement to stand up on your turn.
Sure.
And you said you were attacking or you weren't attacking. Action economy is hard. So if you use
I
your
was
action,
using. Yeah, I was using the echo's action.
right? So don't you
Do
still get your own,
wake up.
or does it use your action?
But she said she wanted to use her action to dodge, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, dodge.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that up. Dodge. So any attack against you has disadvantage. That's important. So then we go to our Thrandil Redcap, who is going to swing his scimitar at Winter, which is an 8. He gets multi-attack, try again, and I rolled another 2. So he's done. So the other one who's attacking Timber, I just rolled 3 2s in a row, and I'm getting frustrated. Okay, dice. I don't have another D20.
We ain't getting frustrated.
Oh, that's
Okay, that is a 17 on his second attack.
Yep.
Okay. But then I roll 1 on the D4, and I roll a 2, so 3 plus 4 is 7 slashing damage.
Yep. Timber is down.
There we go. Timber's down. Vraak is down. And Winter, you are up.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to do I'm going to cure wounds on Timber, because that's a D8 instead of a D4, and if they're down, I should, yeah. So that is, wow, I got less than the D4 did. 9 hit points to Timber, and then I'm going to. Does Bardic Inspiration work on saving throws?
I think it's in
Sure, off the top of my head.
any saving throw they can add a D6 to, so I don't see why it would not.
Okay, and Cook's character is down 2, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would like to give Bardic Inspiration to Cook until next turn when I can heal them, so that way they don't get like a nat 1 and then just end up being like permanently dead.
Okay. Vrack, you are down. I need a death saving throw.
So it's D20 plus a D6.
Yeah.
You can wait to use the D6 until after you see your roll.
Yeah.
It's an 11.
That's a pass.
That's a pass. Save the D6 for something else.
Timber, you are down, but not out, not unconscious. You were briefly looking into the light, and as the air comes back to you, you are laying there.
cast invisibility on myself.
You vanish.
And then I use half my movement to stand up, and then I move 15 feet away, so I'm no longer in melee as a wizard.
It does get the opportunity attack, but at disadvantage. These fucking twos. I miss.
All right.
So yeah, you're able to back your half your movement away from the fight and go where wizards belong.
All right. That's the end of my. All right, that is the end of my turn. For what
More.
it's worth, that did drop detect magic because they're both concentration spells.
Okay. Mordella.
Mordella spends half her movement to get up, and she's obviously super fucking pissed. Is she in direct melee with anybody?
No, you were kind of in the group, so there's a good 10, 15 foot buffer between you and this scuffle.
Fantastic. She's gonna move back 30 feet. She's got a 60-foot range on the spell. She's gonna cast Healing Spirit, and with that, she's going to make a 5-foot cube appear as if a beast or fey is standing in there. I guess I'll have it appear as a satyr, little goat-hoofed guys with a little pan flute. And I'm going to have it appear in Vraak's space. And when that happens, I can heal that person without an action 1d6 hit points.
There you go.
So Vraak can have 3 hit points. And I can still do that 4 more times as long as I can concentrate on the spell. So that's what Mordella will be doing. That's the end of her turn.
Okay, now we have our 2 red caps from the back who are still 10 feet away. Nobody is down now. So they are going to... Well, Ildain, you're right out there out front. The first attack does not hit. That's a 9 on the dice. And then a natural 1. So the next one, it's a natural 8. And a natural 8. So yeah, both of these red caps are swinging blindly at you. And
Just dodging left and right.
we go back up to the hag, who is so upset that her fairy snack has disappeared. But she has a cure for that. And I need to look at this spell's description. Never mind, I can't cast that spell because she can't see you. You are so freaking lucky.
Or good.
Yeah, I was going to do magic missile, guarantee a hit. I can't see you. So, enraged with her claws, Ildain is still out front. That is an 18 to hit, which misses.
Nope.
Good old Childane.
14,
Yep.
so
Bring it on. Bring it on.
missed with the claw attacks. Ildain, you're up.
Not even breaking a
Righty.
sweat in there.
Jesus.
We're having fun now.
Once again, making lots of cool gestures at the camera without it even on. It was,
Anyway,
We'll convince her
so
eventually.
bonus action, Echo's gonna go behind the hag, and I'm gonna use an action to use my longsword on her, and then I'm gonna use the Unleash Incarnation to do another attack from my Echo. So first attack from me. Ooh, that one's gonna. It's an 11.
11 misses.
Yeah. Okay, and then Echo's attack. Ooh, that's better. That's a 21.
That hits.
And so the 8 is 13 slashing.
All right, you guys look on as this hag has become bloodied. She is starting to show the wear and tear of the fight. And we are on to Thrandil Cap, who is going to continue its onslaught at... Actually, it's going to attack your Echo, because that's the one that hit the hag last. And that's a 19 plus...
That hits.
Okay.
And Echo's gone.
Yeah, so it slashes through your Echo, removing it from the field, and it'll take its second attack against you, which is a 7. So it misses. And then the other one, 5.
It's probably a little emotionally traumatic, yeah.
Roll 3. I cannot hit Ildain to save my life. This dice started off so good. All right, that brings us to Winter.
Winter's not entirely sure what's up with Ildain and the second Ildain that sometimes shows up. But the fact that one of them just kind of vanished is kind of like making her upset for some reason. Like, she doesn't know why it's upsetting. She knows it's upsetting. So she's gonna do vicious mockery at the Thaldrin, like, red cap, and go, everybody's a train wreck in their own very special way. But you are a train wreck in so many different ways that I don't even know where to start the list at. So that's a wisdom saving throw.
That's what I thought you were doing. So +1.
Everybody's like, "What's a train?"
That's a failure.
That is 8 psychic damage.
And that red cap is bloodied. Beyond bloodied. It's not looking very good. That was Winter. Do you want to cast a bonus action spell?
I do have a question with Bardic Inspiration. Am I allowed to give out multiple Bardic Inspirations at one time, or is only one inspiration available at a time?
You
They can-
can, but
yeah, I was
not
gonna-
to the same person.
Yeah, they can only have.
Okay. Then I will give Bardic Inspiration to Ildain. Because I don't know, because she's just there, and I think she needs it. So I like give her a little pat on the shoulder and go, I don't know what's going on, but I am here for you, I guess.
All right, that brings us to Vraak. You
I'm gonna interrupt
You are-
really fast.
yeah.
Immediately on Vraak's turn, that healing spirit is gonna heal them another 4 hit points. As I
Okay.
expend another use of it for free.
There you go.
Thank you.
You are 2. You have come to on the ground.
You've received 7 total since the last you were unconscious.
Yeah, I'm at 7.
Oh, and
Well, let's
Mordella
see.
also wants to say, Vraak, get up and unleash your god's fury on this woman.
And I will say this, Vraak, while you were laying there unconscious, you had a vision that you were at the foot of a mountain. The mountain rose into the clouds. You could not see the top. But from the top, like thunder, you heard hammer falls on what sounded like an anvil. And then you come to.
Well, player me knows this is a bad idea, but Vrack is going to do it anyway. I'm going to cast Searing Smite.
There you go.
Seems like the perfect place to do it. And then let's see. Gonna make an attack on this hag to just knock me out.
Okay.
And can I add the bardic inspiration to that roll?
Yes.
Okay. So add a d6 to that. 16?
16 just misses.
Okay. Well, did what I could, boys and girls.
Any bonus actions?
My bonus action was serious.
Oh, okay. Timber, you are up.
All right, can I get all of them in a 20-foot cube?
Yes.
Then I cast Fairy Fire. I'm going to need, are these deck saving throws? I believe deck saving throws. Let me verify.
Yes.
Yep, I need deck saving throws DC 15.
The hag failed. And all but one red cap failed. So you
Okay,
light
so-
up 3 red caps now with fairy fire, so all attacks against them have advantage. And the hag is lit up with fairy fire.
Also, I am visible again.
Because you cast a spell, you are visible again. Let me mark that off. Okay. If you don't have a bonus action, it is Mordella's turn.
Is it?
Is Vraak within 30 feet of the space that Timber is in right now?
Timber, you move 30 feet back, right?
Only 15 because it took
Okay,
half my
yeah,
movement to
yep,
get up.
Yep. So yes.
So the satyr is gonna skip over to Timber's space and like playfully leap into his space, and Timber is gonna heal 6 hit points when that happens. And Mordella
Nice.
is just going to well let me see what that actually costs me to do.
You said that's free, is it not?
As a bonus action on my turn, well, I have a limited number of times I can heal, so I can
Okay.
heal 2 more times, but I get to move the thing as a bonus action, and to activate the heal is free. It just has to meet certain conditions, which one of them is when it enters the space. So, okay.
Yeah.
So since that is the case, she's actually free to go ahead and throw out a cantrip. I am going to point at the hag and say, "It's time to die, bitch," and told the dead her.
Okay, that's
DC for this is going to be 7 wisdom saving.
it's a 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is my attack. It is a DC 15. I
Okay,
gave you the spell attack bonus,
plus 2.
not the DC.
I rolled a 12, so 14.
Okay, she's taking damage, so this will be a D12. She can take 9. I believe this is necrotic damage. I'm gonna double check that, but I believe it is.
It is necrotic, and she does not have resistance, so she takes all 9.
That will end Mordella's turn.
Okay, now we got our 2 red caps in the back who are going to attempt to. No, you move back. They want this very bad. All right, Ildain, into the fire. You are up there. It's a 14. That is an
Nope.
11.
Nope.
It's a 14.
Nope.
That is a 10. So
Yeah.
again,
Suck
back up to the night hag, who. Ooh. is going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement on Ildain. That longsword is doing way too much damage. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks. And at the end of each of the target's turn, it can make a Constitution saving throw against the spell. So I make a spell attack, and then you, at the end of your turn, can make saving throw. So, what is a hag's spell attack bonus? +7. It does not fucking matter because I rolled an natural. Okay. Ildain, the lucky. You are up.
Okay, so it worked really well. I'm gonna do it again. I have one more, so I'm going to. I think I have to bonus action cast the echo. It's gonna be behind her. I'm gonna use my attack. That is a 17.
17 hits. That is
Yay.
the armor class.
And 4 plus 13 slashing damage from me. And then Unleash Incarnation. I think this is my last use of it. Will be good. 15 plus 7 is 22 to hit for another. Nice. 8 plus 9 is 17 slashing damage.
Oof. Yeah, this hag is looking haggard.
Nah.
You got it. Right, if there's no bonus actions, that brings us to the red cap attacking. Vraak, you're still up there. We're gonna make an attack on Vraak since my dice don't like Ildain.
All right.
That's a 16.
That misses.
Next attack. I'm not even gonna tell you, it was so embarrassing. Next red cap. That's a 20.
Barely hits.
You take 2, 5 plus 4, so 9 slashing damage.
All right, and I'm going to do what I should have did last time. I am a half-orc. Relentless endurance. I'm going to drop to 1 instead of 0.
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna take its second attack on you. It rolled a natural 18.
Miss.
That's natural 18.
Oh, it's 18 on the dice. It
Yeah,
definitely
so-
On the
probably
die.
Yeah, so plus 6, so 24.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit.
Or 4. 5 plus 4, so 9 slashing damage.
All right, I'm done.
So Vraak is back down. And Winter, you are up.
Winter watches Vraak go down, and then casts Healing Word as a bonus action.
This poor guy.
That's 7 hit points, and then as she brings him back to life or whatever, she gives him bardic inspiration by going, "For God's sake, just get up." Like, it's not really motivational, but it's kind of like that tired parent after you've skinned your knees one too many times. It's just like, okay, you just, at this point, you gotta walk it off. We've run out of bandages.
I will happily take that 7.
Yeah.
So
And then she's going to take out her dagger, and she's just gonna go up, and she's just gonna stab the hag with her dagger.
okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That is a 23. 23.
It hits.
Do, 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 do. And that is 5 slashing damage. Yeah. That is Winter's turn.
All right, that brings us to Vraak.
Vraak is pissed. Vraak no longer cares about her hammer, or her mace, I should say. And at this point, she's caring even less about her shield. She's going to cast a guiding bolt at the hag's face and just hope for the best here. Ooh. Roll it. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 18.
18 hits.
There we go. 4d6. Hope this fucking kills her. 13 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Well, as a DM, it just says a flash of light streaks towards your target. Generally, I would like for Vraak to cast her own spells. However, having just seen God,
No. Yeah.
this is coming down straight from the sky. So you see her hold her hammer, her mace up like Thor would Mjolnir, and a streak of light, not lightning, just light, comes down from the sky and just full force in the face of this hag.
That is amazing. And the hag shrieks out. And as the shriek echoes around you guys, the fabrics of reality seems to tear away as you all jolt awake in your bedrolls in the middle of the night. You look over and you see Thrandil sitting in a trance, keeping watch. But all of you sat up at the exact same time around your campfire, burning low. It's about 3 a.m.
So we all just failed our wisdom saving throws then. That's what that was.
The DC was 23. Yep.
Okay, I was like, I rolled pretty high, and
Or
you're
20,
like,
25.
you have,
was
you
the
have
DC.
nothing, and I'm like, okay, well that's weird because usually when you fail something, something happens, and
Yep. I even have it
Okay.
written down here. But the DC I sent was 25.
wonderful.
Out of game. That was awesome.
So
Out of game, I'm not used to
game
missing so much.
out of game because we're about to take a break. This was an encounter I planned for closer to the swamp, but since we weren't all here, I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw this night hag dream thing at him a little early and have some fun with it. And
That's cool because it adds to the whole like is danger of the swamp that we're about to head into. That we're not even there yet, and this type of crap's happening.
Absolutely. And plus, Wednesday was our horror game night, and I wanted to harken back to that with some creepy little kids giggling in the background.
Oh no, I was definitely getting that
really-
vibe.
I thought you thought they were gonna say the 1-2 Freddy's coming for you thing. I was like, man, that's it. That's it. These kids gotta go.
Yeah, so in whispers, Mordella definitely got the hint that she was asleep, but she wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, that's
on
why
the
she tried to
12th.
stab herself. Like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, okay, well, in a dream, things don't hurt, right? And when she
Yeah.
stabbed herself and started bleeding profusely, she's like, oh, fuck no.
Yeah, it's the most lucid dream you've ever had.
Right?
Oh, that was a lot
Shouldn't
of
have ate
fun.
those mushrooms she foraged before bed.
That was a lot of fun, guys. We're gonna take 10 do a bio break, and we'll be back.
All right.